Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'd like to show you a brand new product that our team's been working on for the last few months that we're incredibly proud of. We call it the Evolve Triple Port Power Bank, and we think it's the last portable charging solution you're ever going to need to bring along with you to charge all of your portable devices. Now, this project started about a year ago. We spent a lot of time out in the field with technology, and we got frustrated that we couldn't find a power bank that would charge everything. And if we did, it worked great for certain products, didn't work on other products, or if it fast charged products, it only worked with Apple or Android. And the frustration was you'd buy a power bank thinking you can charge everything, you'd get it home and find that it only charged a few products. You'd have to bring a second one along to charge all the other products you had. So I sat down with the team about a half a year ago and said, can't we design one that has all the connections we need to charge everything we take out in the field? And then the other challenge I threw at him was I wanted to be able to fast charge both Android devices that are QC and Apple devices that are PD. And that's a really rare thing. Now, some of the power banks have caught up with that functionality, but then I threw another challenge at him and I said, I want the power bank itself to be able to fast charge. In other words, I want you to be able to draw electrons out of the power bank quickly to fast charge devices that are capable. But more importantly, I want to be able to throw electrons back in that power bank to charge it quickly because I don't want to wait 5 hours to charge a power bank. So we spent a lot of time. We went through about 9 different revisions of the technology to get it right. And I'm really proud of the product we've got in front of me today. Now, we're calling it an Evolve product because we've come out with a line of products, including some of our heavy-duty cables that have the nylon outer coating on them. We've come out with a car charger. I have a home charger coming as well in about a month. You're going to love that. And the Evolve line is really a group of products that are designed to be ahead of the curve on a technology perspective. We want to sell you something that you're not only going to use today, but as new technology comes out, you can continue to use that product with new technology. And this is a really good example of how we're thinking through what those future requirements might be, both in the connections we're using and the type of charging it can accomplish. So before I get too deep into the demonstration, let me show you what comes in the kit. So when you buy the kit, we include the power bank. It's a 10,000 milliampere hour power bank. And again, you can fast charge the bank and you can use it to fast charge devices. We also include a short cable. Now you might be wondering, why did we include a longer cable? The honest truth is we tried to keep this as inexpensive as possible, and when you start adding cables and other accessories to it, it raises the price. And we know everybody out there has got a ton of cables that they can use to charge the power bank and from the power bank to their devices. So we thought, let's just include a small charging cable so you can get started. And then if you need additional ones, we put it together as a kit where we sell it as the bank itself, or we sell it with what we're calling a universal charging cable. It has every connection you'll ever need. So totally up to you how you want to do that. So I'll show you some of the demonstrations of how you can use this product. The key thing you have to remember, though, is that we spent a lot of time thinking about all the protections that need to be built into a power bank to make it safe, but more importantly, to make it safe to the products you're going to charge. Because if you're connecting up really expensive electronics to a small power bank like this, you want to make sure that you're not taking chances where the power bank can do something wacky and damage the device you're trying to charge. So there are all kinds of protections built in around overcurrent for charging the device, overcurrent drain out of the device, temperature protections built in. We built in spike protections, so you really shouldn't plug in something that's turned on, but if you do, it's going to draw an awful lot of current. We built in spike protections to make sure that it's not going to shut down the power bank or cause issues for that. So it's an incredibly safe bank to use. On the front, there's a piece of plastic up top that's clear, and that's a display. There's a button on this side. If you hit that, it actually powers up, and it'll tell you exactly how much power you have left in the bank. So it gives you the charge level of the bank, and that's really handy because if you're out in the field and it's late in the afternoon, you're not sure exactly how much power is left. If you hit that button, you'll know exactly what you have left. On the other side of it over here, and I'll do some close-ups of this, are 2 indicators. The first is it'll tell you if you're charging it by lighting up the word in, so you know there's current going into the device, or if you're charging something else, it'll say out, so it knows that it's pulling current out of the device. It'll also let you know what kind of current you're drawing. Now, on the top of the unit, there's a quick charge connection, which is a USB-A connection. There's a USB-C in the middle, which is a PD charging connection. And there's a second USB-A connection over here that's a standard full level charge indicator. So that'll actually charge at 2 amps. So you can actually charge a quick charge device, charge a PD device, and even charge a regular 2 amp device at the same time using those connections. Now you can charge the bank through that USB-C, so you can quick charge the bank using any charger you have that's quick charge with a cable that's USB-C to charge the bank. We also put a second connector on the side for micro USB cables, and the reason we added that was because people out there still have a lot of micro USB cables, and a lot of people don't know you can actually fast charge through a micro USB connection. So having that port on the side gives you the option to charge it through that, or if you have the newer USB-C cables, you can charge it through that. So there are 2 ways to get electrons into the unit, through the top or through the side, and 3 ways to pull the electrons out to charge your devices through the top. So it really gives you a lot of functionality. The last indicator that's part of that display is if you connect up to either one of these fast charging connections and you're fast charging a device, a little green fast will light up to let you know that you're actually fast charging. So it's an incredibly smart device, and I love the fact that really just glancing at it, you know exactly what's going on with the device. All right, so let's talk about charging the device first. So I've got 2 chargers over here. I've got a wall charger, and again, we've got this version of it, this exact charger coming out in about a month. I'll tease you a little bit. It's a really nice small charger, flips closed so the prongs don't stick out. It's got a USB-A connection on it that'll QC charge, as well as a PD connection that's USB-C. So this will be the last charger you'll ever have to buy. So it's fast charging for both ports. We also released a car charger a couple months back. Both of these are Evolve products as well. This one's available on the website. Again, it's a full high-performance charger. It's got a QC connection here that's USB-A and a PD connection here that's USB-C. So you can use this to charge the bank, but any charger you have, whether it's fast charge or not, will charge the bank. But if you have a fast charging charger, it'll actually charge the bank in an incredibly quick amount of time. When I first designed this, we got together and designed this, when we first got the samples in and I connected it up to a fast charging charger, I couldn't believe how quickly we're charging the bank. The technology is just that amazing. You'll watch it and it'll say 51%, 52%. 53%. And I'm thinking there's no way that it can charge that fast, because most portable battery banks take hours to charge, and you'll put them on a charge and you're not quite sure if they're fully charged or not, because they have 3 or 4 LEDs that light up and kind of tell you what the charge is. With this one, you know exactly where it is at every minute. So let me show you how to charge it. So I've got a USB-C cable here. I'll use that first, and I'm going to connect up to the USB-A connection here on the wall charger, and I'll plug that into the front port here in the USB-C. The minute I do that, it lights up and lets me know the current charge is 46%, and it's flashing green fast, so it's letting me know that I'm actually fast charging the bank. I can do the same thing with the car charger, and again, if you're using the Drone Valley version, it's ready to go with the QC. I plug that in. The minute I do, again, 46%, and the little green LED is flashing, let me know I'm charging it at full current. So both of those chargers will charge this thing up really, really quickly. And again, you can use any charger you have. You can use your computer, anything that's got a USB-A that'll charge whatever device you're using. The other thing I'll talk about just briefly is the micro USB. So on the side, I'd mentioned there's a micro USB for charging as well. So if you have a USB-A connection on this end to a micro USB cable, you can plug that into the side of the charger. And then once you, let me get it in there right, I got on the wrong side there for a second. A little bit tighter connection than the USB-C. All right, so I'll plug that in. It takes a second, and the electronics is checking to make sure that it's a fast charging charger. It's doing its adjustments internally, and now again, it's 46%, and it's fast charging through the micro USB on the side. So top connection USB-C to charge, or micro USB on the side. Now to charge devices, here's where it gets really interesting. So if I want to charge a few of these devices, let's start with some of the higher power devices. We had a hard time finding a portable battery bank that would charge the Skydio batteries, because they're such a high current drain. So let me plug it in. I'll plug it into the QC connection up top. And if I can charge it in the drone, but I don't want to pull that plug out of there, so I'm using the hub here. So this is the battery charging hub that'll charge 2 batteries. It won't charge 2 batteries at the same time, because you can see the difference physically between these. So this isn't going to charge 4 batteries, because there's only 10,000 milliampere hours in there. But if you have to top a battery off in the field, you just plug it in. It's going to take a second, make the adjustments necessary, and boom, it starts charging. So it's an incredibly powerful charger to be able to push that current over to the Skydio. Now, it can't fast charge it because it's a high current device, but for me, when I'm out flying the Skydio, I typically have a battery in the drone, I'm flying it, and the other battery's either on the seat or it's in my backpack. It's great to have this with me to charge that second battery. So there's your charging on that. It can also charge your DJI Smart Controller. This was a huge challenge, I'll be honest with you. This delayed between the second and third release of this thing, where we were sort of designing it. I said it has to be able to charge something that's high current like this. So with this unit, again, it's a USB-C connection. The minute I plug it in, it's going through a power on self-test. Initially, it thinks it can fast charge it, but wherever the battery bank is charged, so if you're below 50%, it really won't fast charge it. Sometimes when you get it up closer to 100%, it will actually fast charge this, but either way, that'll charge this bank. And what's really cool about it is you can use this in the field. This is small enough and slim enough. We designed it on purpose to be a little bit slippery, that you can slide it in the front pocket, leave it connected to your smart controller, and it'll actually charge the smart controller while you're using it. So it's a great way to get extended time out in the field. All right, the other quad that a lot of people are asking about is the Mavic Mini and some of the other Mavic products. They charge through a micro USB connection. So again, we have an Evolve cable that'll do that. You can use any cable you've got. I'll plug that into the fast charging port. If you have the battery bank, you just connect it up to the side. And once you make the connection, it's going to do a self-test really quickly. And you notice right now it's charging slow. That's because there's negotiations going on between the two. In a second, that's going to realize it's got a fast charging device, and it'll actually fast charge this unit. Now the cool thing is that I can charge all my batteries simultaneously on this unit without any issues whatsoever. So that's pretty cool. And then in addition to that, I'll connect up the one to the charger there in a second. Let me plug this back in. I had that a little bit loose. Let me try that again. There we go. So we're indicating fast charging. There we go. I didn't have it all the way in. So there's your fast charging on the battery bank. So that's pretty cool that it can actually fast charge these batteries in succession. It can also fast charge it in the quad. So if I plug it into the quad, I have a battery in there now. I'll connect up the micro USB on the back. Let's watch the bottom. It's taken a second to realize it's a fast charging device. And then it just indicated it's fast charging. And now it's actually fast charging the device. So it's an incredibly smart unit to be able to do that kind of stuff. It's not like your standard chargers where typically when you hook up a battery back to a device like this, it does a handshake and it just stops at that point and decides it's either fast or it's not. With this one, it's constantly testing that connection, and it takes a second to register that it's a fast charging device and it'll start fast charging it. All right, the other place this works really well is with action cameras. We do a lot of filming out in the field with action cameras, and action camera batteries are really small. So if you're doing any kind of time-lapse photography or you're spending a lot of time out in the field, you're either swapping a lot of batteries or you can't record very long. With action cameras, you can actually leave this connected to the action camera while you're filming and extend the filming time. So for example, here's my Osmo Pocket. If I plug that in, I'm sorry, there we go. I'll plug that in, USB-C on the bottom. It's going to charge that, which means I can record with this for hours because I've got this portable battery bank. Because the battery here, you know, is 10 times the size of the battery it's internally here. And again, what's cool about it is it's small enough and slim enough, slide it into a front pocket. You can take this out in the field and record for hours on a full charge with this battery bank. Same thing with your Osmo Action if you have one of those. This is an Osmo Action product. Again, it works with all the GoPro products, so any action camera you have, you can connect this thing up and run. Now, if you're doing hyperlapse, you can put a little bit of Velcro on this, stick it to your tripod, and you've got really tons of power to record for hours. We're literally out in the field. So it really does give you extended recording time. The other thing it does, which is incredibly cool, is if you've got a portable gaming console like the Nintendo Switch, it'll fast charge the Nintendo Switch, which again is something that a lot of the power banks out there won't do. So it seemed like every time the team came back and said to me, we've got it designed, here's what it looks like, let's get a prototype built. They sent us a prototype, we tested it, I said, well, that's pretty cool, but wait a minute, what about the smart controllers? What about the Skydio batteries? What about the Nintendo Switch products? And they're like, we got to go back and redo that. So this product has been through, like I said, about 7 different revisions. It's taken us forever to build it, but I wasn't going to be satisfied coming out with one that did sort of what I wanted it to do. We really wanted to get it right the first time and not release one now in 1 and 2 years. We wanted to make sure you had a product you could hang on to for quite some time. The last thing I'll mention, which is another major advantage, is we sell a cable that's a multi-headed cable for charging a bunch of different devices. So we have a couple different versions of this. We have one that's a USB-C, an Apple, and a micro USB. And what's nice about that is if you put it into the quick charging port, you can actually charge 3 devices at the same time. So if you have kids in the back of the car that all have phones that need to be charged, you can plug it into this, throw the cable in the back seat, and everybody gets to charge their phones. The only challenge with a 3-head cable like this is that it can't fast charge those devices because the way quick charge and PD works, they can only negotiate 1 device at a time. So if you do plug this in, they'll all be able to charge your devices and use them while they're charging, but they won't be able to quick charge them. If you use a straight through cable, you can quick charge anything. So that's pretty much all I had for today. And again, you can tell that I'm incredibly proud of this product. I've been using it now for about 2 months, 2.5 months, just to make sure everything is working the way we designed it. And it's flawless. So we're very, very proud of the product. The other challenge I have is in the first group of these, I only got a couple hundred of them in. So they're going to go pretty quick. So if you're interested in this, I'm not trying to push you for a sale, but if you're interested, jump on it quick because we can ship them out immediately and you'll have them a couple of days later. They all go out first class mail. The other challenge we've got with this is it's difficult to ship these right now internationally. So we're going to kind of limit this to domestic sales to start, see how they do, and then maybe we can expand it to international sales. I'm not sure if I can ship it reasonably for international sales because it's got a LiPo battery inside of it, and sometimes they get a little bit queasy with international shipments on LiPo batteries, but we'll work on that. So for now, domestic sales, and then keep an eye on the website and we'll put a note up if we can start shipping these things internationally, but we're incredibly proud of this. And again, I understand there's hundreds of battery banks out there you can look at. A lot of them make claims that maybe don't work out the way you expect them to when they show up. We spent a lot of time and effort on putting this one together to make sure that everything works the way we say it does. And if you buy it from us, we'll be here to support it. So if you have questions or problems later on, a simple email or a phone call and we'll get it sorted out for you. So thanks an awful lot for watching. You can tell that I'm excited about this because this is one of those projects that's been close to my heart since I had that frustration a year ago. And I think we really knocked it out of the park with this one. So thanks an awful lot for watching. If you have any questions, drop those in the comments below. And until next time, happy flying.